What's going on, everyone? We're back with the weekly recap outlook video. Hope everybody's having a good weekend so far. Let's get into it. So, weekend review. We had some economic data come out last week. We had some jobless claims that came in lower than expected, but really what caught my eye was continuing jobless claims continue to climb higher. Expect the labor market to continually slow growth as the Federal Reserve continues to hike interest rates. We also had Jerome Powell's speech last week. There was two quotes that really caught my eye. The first one is, "We need to keep going until the job is done." This is imperative for the Federal Reserve. They don't want to stop raking interest hikes too early and cause inflation to get completely out of control. And the second one was, labor market demand is still very, very strong. If you watch my past weekly recap video, all of the data that we've had for this whole past month has been super good for the labor market and the economy. It just shows that the labor market is showing more resilience than we thought it would. But also on this, all the data looks good on the surface. But what I want to see is underneath. How many people are getting that second or third job just to make ends meet as an unemployment rate continues to rise? Now, looking at technicals, this past week we bounced off that 390 support that actually just so happened to be right along that uptrend channel that I was looking at last week. So we're looking forward on the 4-hour time frame. We're hitting some resistance here on the bull flag that we originally started falling. So keep an eye on that resistance, but also we have a gap fill down to the bottom as well. So outlook for this week. Tuesday is the big thing that everybody's going to be looking for, CPI data. We have inflation rate, core inflation rate. Everything's going to be revolving around what those numbers come out as. We also have retail sales, jobless claims, Michigan consumer sentiment. All of that's going to be able to move the market. But depending on what that CPI data and all that inflation rate is, depends on what happens forward. If we hit higher than expected, then inflation did not peak, and we could be heading for a lower low. But if it does come in just a tad bit lower or just a tad bit higher, we could possibly see either flat or bullishness as people hoping that it is still peaking at the same time, since inflation rate year over year was 8.5 last month. All right. I just wanted to give a little bit better look at the technical area here. So this could be a possible pivotal moment here this month. So everything's going to rely on that inflation data, as I said earlier. But on this MACD and the stock RSI on the daily, we are starting to see this kind of turnaround here. Expect big resistance right here at this 410 range. If we can get through this big resistance right here. So depending on if we gap up or we possibly could break this resistance if we gap up over the weekend completely over it. And if we do gap up, expect this to act as support. Now, the stock RSI on the 4-hour time chart is starting to get overbought. So we could possibly see a sell-off soon. But Apple, looking here, we have two gap fills up to the top side. Now, we originally broke down out of that uptrend that I was talking about last time. But it doesn't really seem like a massive sell-off. It seems like it possibly could have found a bottom here, some support, and it's starting to slowly round. It could possibly get back up in that, back up above that support here. But if we do, expect to possibly try to fill both of these gap fills, especially if not the second, then especially the first one. All right, so bottom line. For the bull's case, you're going to want to get above that 4-hour time frame resistance that was just spoken about and be able to hold that 410 range. And for bear's case, you're going to want to fill that breakout from that 4-hour resistance and actually fill that gap fill to the bottom first. And if you can, continue holding down. Now, that is going to be it for the weekly recap outlook video. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Completely free. We may end up doing another video with the CPI data, but we always come out with weekly recap videos and stuff. So please just continue if you read our daily posts and everything. And everybody just continue to have a rest of the great week.